Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to my channel. I'm Josh, and today I'm going to be talking about Ghostbusters, and it was trending on Twitter. I think it was, last week? I think it was last week. Well, anyways, people who are fans of the 2016 film, and by the way, remakes generally try to bring in new audience members, while some of us older ones will go and see a remake and hope it's good, or hope it succeeds, because that opens the door for more movies. Well, I hate to break it to you, and a lot of people are telling me otherwise, that I'm wrong, that Ghostbusters 2016 did not fail, but it did. And the reason why it failed was because Sony, the director, Leslie Jones, and Melissa McCarthy, the only 4 of them were attacking the fans. Look, I understand, to defend a film against being attacked, but see, I said this, I pointed this right out. I can't say anything good or bad about a movie without seeing it. If I didn't see it, then I can't tell you it was good or bad. Because that's what many of us who are critics. Fans are the biggest critics when it comes to movies and franchises. Just like I've seen good and bad sequels. But see, I proved that these attacks were happening, and they're still going on right now, because a new movie's coming out, and it's going to totally ignore the 2016. Jason Reitman directed Juno. So he says, I'm not making a Juno film. It's a Ghostbuster movie. Why would people want to see a Juno? I mean, people did see it, and it was great, right? I mean, most people liked it. I didn't actually see it. There's certain movies that I kind of avoid, and I'm not going to say they're good or bad, but if it was really good, then great. If you're a fan of Juno, love that movie. But the fact is, and I've said this, if you like the 2016 film, that's fine, because remakes generally open up the doors for new fans to discover what we already know about the series. But see, also remakes can work and not work. Here's how a remake can work, or should have worked. For instance, if you go watch My Bloody Valentine 2009, that's a remake that was done right. Most remakes try to be like the first movie. They like to be the original. And that's a problem, because there's only one original. And it's not like us original fans and anyone else in between is going out and burning the remake and saying it's horrible. I supported that movie, just like I support all movies. I will give a remake a chance. If it has, I look past all the negative and look for the positive. Well, when I walked away from that film in 2016, I came to the same conclusion that most critics came to. It was not bad, and it was not good. It was mediocre. The story was mediocre. And when I say, if they had a better script, I think it may have worked. Also, if they wouldn't have self-sabotaged, because you had four people. You had Amy Pascal, who was the head of Sony, attacking the fans. You had director Paul Feig. His movies are great. I've seen a lot of his movies, and I love them. This just didn't work. And Paul Feig is now defending Jason Reitman. And the thing is, when it comes to remakes, you're trying to forget the original. Not forget the original. You're going to add nods and winks to it, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're going to do a remake, make it your own movie. Don't try to emulate what the original did, because it's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It doesn't always work. I mean, there's sequels that are good and bad. In 1989, when they made Ghostbusters 2, it was basically kind of a remake of Ghostbusters in a way. And while it was successful, generally most fans don't even talk about it. But a lot of people want me or anyone to continue to talk about the 2016 film. I'm sorry, but the movie flopped. That's not my fault. I went and saw it. But the thing is, a lot of fans, and most of them are women. So, I've had friends who were big fans of Ghostbusters who said, ugh, what did they do? And they weren't talking about the women being in the movie. They were talking about how this is awful. You know, they make all the characters, especially the men, stupid. That's the only good thing they did was make it stupid. They made all men stupid or idiotic. Why? I don't know. Because if the 1984 film, and there are some people who said, oh, the 1984 film was sexist because they didn't have a leading woman. Sigourney Weaver was the love interest of Peter Venkman. And she wasn't downplayed and played to be stupid. Neither was Anna Potts, who played the secretary. She was not. If the Ghostbusters in 1984 would have done the same thing that Ghostbusters 2016 did, and said had it been the men making fun of the women, a lot of people probably wouldn't go see it. They'd be like, huh, you want to insult women? Really? That's not good. And let's face the facts here. Women have had leading roles forever. It's never going to go away. It's nothing new. When I heard that a new Ghostbuster film was coming out, I was generally excited. I was hoping, praying that this movie would be good and open doors for more. So now we skip ahead. Next year we're getting a new Ghostbuster film. It's going to ignore the remake. It should. It's a continuation. It's a sequel to the original. So of course it's going to ignore the remake. Even though we, who actually saw the movie, we're not going to ignore the fact that it exists. It does exist. And a lot of people might say, I know a lot of people say, I wish it didn't, but I was glad that they made one. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, the only wrong things that happened in that movie was how immature some of the characters were. I mean, especially the men. The men were immature. I mean, of course, men, when you're young, you're immature. And women or girls mature faster than men or boys. But the fact is, it just insulted. And people say women can't be sexist towards men. That's a farce. I've seen women talk horribly about men. It's called feminist. No, I did not think that Ghostbusters 2016 had a bunch of feminists in it, because the fact was, what feminists really believe is women should not be able to defend themselves, not even have a pocket knife. There's something wrong. I would say women should go out and get self-defense classes, so if someone's trying to sexually assault them, they can whoop their ass. Whoop the attacker's ass. That's my thought. And if I ever have kids and I have a daughter, I'm gonna take her to self-defense class. I'm gonna take her to self-defense class so she can defend herself. But regardless, some people were happy about a new movie. Others were not happy. That's just the way it goes. Generally, us fans normally do not like remakes. We don't think remakes are great all the time. But if it works, then we're happy. It works. Ghostbusters 2016 just didn't work. It flopped. It should have been its own movie. It could have been its own standalone film in the franchise. Would have been fine. But when you have Sony, the head of Sony, Amy Pascal, attacking fans. You have director Paul Feig, who went on this tirade attacking fans. You had Melissa McCarthy, she's still attacking the fans, and Leslie Jones, she's still attacking the fans. She said, and I can show you on YouTube. I can pull up somebody else's video and share it on social media and show you exactly what I'm talking about. They're still attacking the new film. Even though Paul Feig has come out and said and defended Jason Reitman. That's great. I told director Paul Feig, don't let the trolls get to you, because that's what they're doing. Trolls are not necessarily fans. They just hate anything that comes out of Hollywood, or they just hate movies in general. I don't know. Because I've dealt with trolls, and they aren't very bright. And I pointed that out. Like, that's all you're going to do? You're going to troll me? Well, thanks for the views, by the way, because every time you troll me, you're actually adding views to my channel. If you don't want to see my videos, don't watch my videos. But when James Ralph, angry video game nerd, came out and said he just had no interest in seeing the movie, he's sexist! That's what they came out with. The media attacked him. The feminists, the SJWs, they came out the woodwork and attacked him and said he was sexist because he didn't have any interest in seeing the movie. People can dislike a movie and still go see it. That's how that works. The fact is, if you like or dislike a video, it does not hurt. It doesn't hurt the movie or anything at all. I don't think a lot of people understand the like and dislike ratio of video. If my friend who's doing a live stream and he gets a dislike, let's say he gets 20 dislikes on his video, it isn't going to hurt his video. It's not going to. I've been on YouTube for nearly 6 years. I've been on Twitter for 4 years, and I've seen the internet trolls on Twitter causing chaos, causing trouble, and I call them out for being stupid. That's what I do. Like, go ahead, troll me all you want. But the thing you will never hear me say, and I never once said, Ghostbusters 2016 was dumb. I just said there were good ideas and there were bad ideas. That happens in movies. But when you attack the fans, and you want to know the biggest movie that came out in 2017, a year later, after Ghostbusters failed, Wonder Woman. That movie was a box office success. I know this for a fact. Hollywood doesn't go out to make bad movies, but sometimes they have bad decisions when it comes to movies. Like, for instance, the budget on Ghostbusters started with $140 million. They increased it to $16 million, making it $156 million. And they were hoping that they would either double or quadruple that money, but it failed. The only country that did not show that movie was China. If China saw that movie, it probably would be more successful because there have been a lot of people watching that movie. Because China, when it comes to supernatural films, they don't want to see it. I mean, it was all over the world. And while it did great in the foreign markets, it failed here in the domestic markets. There's nothing I can do, or any of you can do, to make Ghostbusters 2016 great. It just happens. Movies flop for multiple reasons. But I said it, and I continue to say this. If you attack the fans on a global basis, calling them sexist, calling them racist, they're not going to have any interest in seeing your movie. That's just a fact. Wonder Woman was smartly marketed, did not insult the fans, because that's the thing. Comic book fans, if you insult comic book fans, they're going to dismiss you completely. They're going to say, I'm not going to support that movie. And I pointed out Captain Marvel is failing. And people said, well, Brie Larson has... I don't know what he said, but I'll just say this. Brie Larson attacked the fans to a certain extent, I believe. I don't know. I didn't actually see it happen. But a lot of people are negatively commenting on the movie. But they already predicted that it'll lose $100 million on opening weekend. That's bad for a movie. So while Ghostbusters 2016 made $216.1 million, when you think about it, because you have to subtract all that, you go with, okay, 216 minus 156, $60 million. You subtract that, $96 million. That's what the math comes up to. That's a rough estimate on how much they lost. Because I'm talking about them losing money. It was $216 million, but they spent $156 million, so they only got $60 million totally back from the movie. That's horrible. But if you keep minus it, yes, it was $96 million. That's just a rough estimate. And while people say, oh, you think you're an expert, and you're a so-called expert, I'm a film buff. I study movies. I've seen movies work, and I've seen movies fail, and I point out the reasons why they failed. Ghostbusters 2016. The people that disliked the trailer, it had nothing to do with sexism. And the ones that were commenting, because most people who dislike a trailer, they normally don't say why they dislike the trailer. They just didn't like the trailer. It's the most hated trailer on YouTube. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been a long video. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video.